Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Indy, the strong style, nerd, strong style, cinephile. Snyder Cut. We have seen the teaser. Let's geek about it for a scant few minutes because I don't really want to talk about it much because I'm not a fan. I've made no bones about it. I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder's Justice League and his vision for it, what he was talking about wanting to do with it, what the Whedon cut, wasn't a fan of that. And now we have this cut here where finally the momentum from the release of Snyder Cut has just culminated in this thing with HBO Max where they're trying to lure in subscribers by having the Snyder Cut and giving him 30, 40 million extra dollars to put on top to reshoot and redo the movie in his vision. We saw some glimpses of it at DC Fandom. We also saw, like, his segment I wasn't a fan of because it was just, to me, it was just like, hey, like, he talked about it a little bit, and then he brought in, like, the young lady who was, I guess, the leader of the Release the Snyder Cut movement, and then another dude, basically to tell him how awesome he is. And I just didn't, his segment on DC Fandom rubbed me the wrong way. Then we have the trailer, and it's just basically, oh, hey guys, look at all this stuff that wasn't in the other movie. It's just a bunch of shots that just weren't in the Whedon cut or whatever. And it just, we find out it's going to be 4 like 1 hour parts on HBO Max. And I guess you could probably get the Blu-ray or something like that and see the whole thing together. But Snyder, just to me, while he's a great filmmaker, a great director of action, he's not a great storyteller, not a great writer. He needs to stick to like mastering just some bonkers off the wall, great visual effects. Not so much the story, because I don't think he can do that very well. I just don't. And I'm not looking forward to this Snyder Cut. I'm not somebody that's just been you know, forming a religion around releasing the Snyder Cut or just hanging from this dude's sack for every little thing that he posts since the Whedon cut came out about how he had this idea and he had this idea, had this idea. I mean, I guess credit to him for actually keeping himself in the conversation. And as a creator, I guess I'm behind the fact of he stuck to his guns to try to release his vision for his work. Like I'm doing with Cheerleader Karate School, which is why I'm taking Cheerleader Karate School from the live action failure that I had to taking it back to the comics so I don't have to make any compromises, any changes. I can tell the story that I intend to tell in the medium that best suits it, so I can feel what he's doing and what he has done, the success he's had, and I envy it from that standpoint. But beyond that, from looking at the actual product, I don't think I'll be a fan. I'm going to check it out, but I wasn't a fan of Justice League, the way they handed it together, stitched it together. I'm not a fan of Ezra Miller. I'm not a fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash by any stretch of the imagination. He's just a horrible, horrible casting choice, and we're going to be stuck with him in a movie. And apparently it's going to have Batman, Batfleck, back in the movie, as well as Michael Keaton in the movie, which those two things are very interesting to me, but Flash as a whole, not so much. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'll see it. Am I interested in it? No. Do I think it's going to be drastically better than the Whedon cut? No, I don't. I have nothing that shows me it is. I'm not a believer. Maybe when it comes out, I'll be proven wrong, and I'll eat crow if I am. But at this point in time, on this day, I do not think the Snyder Cut, the extended Snyder Cut, is going to be any better than the Justice League that we got in theaters, you know, back when we did. So, hey, if you're a fan of the Snyder Cut, hey, more power to you. You got what you wanted. Let's just see what happens. Because what are you going to do if it still sucks? Like, what's going to be the excuse then? That's my biggest thing. If it still sucks, what are you going to say then? How are you going to kick the can down the road or change the conversation or move the goalpost on that to thus prop up Snyder still? Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are, just scanned because Snyder Cut, yay. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Let us geek.